Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the 5 greatest Stravinsky recordings. Oh, there's a lot to choose from, and as I've said all along of this series, limit yourself to 5. No honorable mentions, no extra special lists, no anything, just 5. That's what we're doing here. I'm not interested in any other editorializing, just 5 recordings or less. It can be less, it's okay, but no more than 5. Let's put it that way. Oh, this is so much fun. You know, Stravinsky is an enjoyable composer to go through for me because, you know, his output is so weighted in popularity towards the early ballets, which has been recorded billions and billions of times. But then he wrote masterpieces all the way up till his death, and there are all kinds of interesting works that don't get the attention they deserve and that are simply fabulous. And I begin with one of those, Oedipus Rex. I adore Oedipus Rex. Stravinsky referred to it as a garbage dump. He called it that because it's so stylistically heterogeneous. You know, he's basically borrowing things from Mozart and the Baroque, Bach, and popular music and stuff, and he jams it all together. It sounds totally of a piece. It really does. But, you know, Bernstein in his lecture, in his, you know, The Unanswered Question, his Norton lectures, analyzes the work very, very perspicaciously. And, you know, it tells you where all of the little bits come from. And it's fascinating talk. It's a fascinating lecture. And as part of that lecture, he gave a performance. And the performance is a knockout. The Harvard Glee Club is the male chorus, and they sing as well as anybody else's male chorus. They're just fine. And the soloists are amazing, fabulous. They're headed off by Rene Kollo as Oedipus and Tatiana Troyanos as the best Yocasta you've ever heard in your life. She's absolutely amazing. You know, when she starts with the oracula, 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 oh boy, you believe her. I mean, it just repeats itself. You know, Stravinsky uses the words just for their syllabic sound. He doesn't care whether what they're singing makes sense the way he twists them around. I mean, you know, he sets the Latin, it's in Latin, he sets the Latin phrases, you know, basically the way Cocteau wrote them as they were translated into Latin. But then when he starts repeating things, it gets very amusing. Nowhere more so, and nowhere in this performance more excitingly than in the duet in part 2 between Oedipus and Yocasta, which is, you know, Oedipus coffee, Oedipus coffee, 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 Oedipus coffee, Oedipus coffee, 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 no, racula, 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 Oedipus coffee, Oedipus coffee, you know. You know, I mean, they're just going nuts, the two of them. The orchestra's going crazy. The woodwinds are chattering like, you know, maniacal, sick, diabolical, twisted creatures from the abyssal depths. Just fantastic. It's an amazing performance. It's exciting as hell. So yes, on Sony, the Bernstein Oedipus Rex. Next, Les Noces, considered by Robert Kraft to be Stravinsky's greatest single masterpiece, I think. It is an amazing, amazing work. It's written for 4 pianos, percussion, and choir with soloists. It's a description of a Russian wedding. It's the follow-up, in a sense, to The Rite of Spring, but very, very different in sound. An exceptional work, and the recording there is Karel Ancerl with Czech forces on Supraphon. Actually, if you get his Supraphon recording of Les Noces, it comes, I think, with Oedipus Rex, which is fabulous too. So you'll have another Oedipus Rex, and I have just violated my own rule in mentioning another recording, but actually it's one recording because they're all on the same CD. But Les Noces is really, really a brilliant work, and Ancerl's recording has that. First of all, they're Czech. They understand Cyrillic. They sound authentic. It has an earthiness and an easy handling of the rhythms, because it's all about rhythm, basically. You know, with the solo voices effortlessly integrated into the choir, it's just an astounding performance, very beautifully recorded. So that's Les Noces. Then there's a disc on Naxos with Robert Kraft. Now, Robert Kraft, of course, was the Stravinsky guy. He was Stravinsky's amanuensis, whatever. He introduced Stravinsky to 12-tone composition, something that many people have never forgiven him for. But Kraft conducted Stravinsky with extreme dedication, and he was wonderful after you got past the early works, because the early works were still written in that late romantic nationalist vein, and Robert Kraft was not in sympathy with that kind of music. He just wasn't. He was a contemporary music guy. He was great with the neoclassical stuff. He was great with the things that were less overtly expressive and more based on pattern making, on rhythm and timbre and things like that. And he issued a fabulous disc on Naxos called 3 Greek Ballets. It couples Apollo, Agon, and Orpheus. And they are just wonderful performances. Absolutely wonderfully fabulous performances. Incredibly precise, detailed, flowing, with just the right tempos, the accents. It all just fits. It's Stravinsky at his coolest and in some ways most compelling neoclassical idiom, and Kraft just nails him. It's fantastic. Then, well, we got to do some of the earlier things, don't we? We just have to, because that's what people care about, and that's what's been recorded the most, and so that's where we're most likely to find great recordings. First, the Firebird, Christoph Dohnányi with the Vienna Phil on Decca. How he got the Vienna Philharmonic to play Stravinsky with this level of transparency and precision, I will never know. They can do it when they want to, and somehow they wanted to. This is an amazing Firebird. You know, it's the original score with the offstage trumpets, or the onstage trumpets, actually. At the very end, they just play one note, a C, but it's good to have them. You know, the orchestra's going da 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 boom da 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 boom, and then the trumpets come in on stage, bwah 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 bwah, while the orchestra's going da 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 da. That's great. Anyway, that's there. The sonics are Decca digital at their best. I mean, there's just everything went right in that performance. It's just a thrilling, thrilling performance. Fantastic. And it's never sluggish. And it's always colorful and incredibly transparent. Just amazing. And last but not least, of course, we have to talk about Le Sacre du Printemps, the Rite of Spring. Oh, so many wonderful recordings of the Rite of Spring. But if you got to pick one, it's got to be Chailly on Decca with the Cleveland Orchestra. Amazingly well recorded. Stunningly well recorded. It's got a bass drum that'll knock your socks off. You know, Cleveland had made very fine recordings of the Rite of Spring, not least Pierre Boulez's first recording for Sony, which is also amazing. But this one has just that more edge, that rawness, the intensity. It's not just an abstract exercise in rhythm and modern music. It's a really red-blooded performance where the orchestra goes completely nuts without ever losing that fabulous rhythmic edge and transparency that makes Cleveland such an amazing ensemble. So there you go. There are the 5 greatest Stravinsky recordings. Feel free to let me have yours. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.